Pippen taking it right out of Dwyer. Paxson, yes. In this entire series, the Pistons have led for a total of 3 minutes, 31 seconds. They were ahead for all of 16 seconds in the game on Saturday afternoon. Out of a possible 144 minutes, here's Pippen tying the game at 6. Pippen has opened up 3 for 3 from the field. McGuire got the step, but lost it. And here comes Jordan. Michael Jordan going glass, and the Bulls take a 10-8 lead.
And I think that's the way Chuck wants them to play.
Here's Cartwright. And Bill Cartwright gives the Bulls a 12-10 lead. Jordan claims that the whole league will rejoice over the demise of the so-called bad boys. Strong words from Michael, saying people want to push this kind of basketball out, talking to the roughhouse style. I don't feel we're overconfident, but says we want to kill this ball club. Paxson and Jordan in the backcourt. Pippen, Grant, and Purdue up front. Nice play. And Lambeer taking a shot at Paxson, who did not like it. John Paxson went back at Bill Lambeer. He did not like the shot given by Lambeer. Certainly unnecessary.
Well, Paxson also was the player that was running into Lambeer earlier, and he just did not like it all. Paxson is really upset, and now Joe Crawford has put the tee, and I believe he's put the tee on John Paxson. You know, Joe Crawford's one of the top officials in this league, and it's important that he keeps his cool, because sometimes he loses his cool when he gets upset with the players, and he is an outstanding official.
You sound like you've had some personal experience in that area.
I've had personal experiences with all of them.
Well, apparently he has now called a double technical on Lambeer and Paxson. The personal foul was charged to Isaiah Thomas. The late hit was given by Lambeer. He got Paxson for the tee on the retaliation. And Paxson is on the line off the foul committed by Isaiah.
Paxson has him beat, and Lambeer really hit him and hit him hard. So they made it tough for him to make the bucket, but Pax handled it.
A technical foul on Detroit assistant Brendan Surr. There is Brendan, who's hit with the tee.
Well, you don't want your assistant coaches to get tees. You don't want the head coach to get a tee. And again, I think Joe Crawford is really pumped up in this game himself.
And apparently he's also hit Chuck Daly, so double technical on the Detroit Pistons on Brendan Surr and Chuck Daly.
And now Chuck will have to tread water very lightly, because he wants to stay around for the end of this game.
By virtue of the technicals, it's a 26-24 lead for the Chicago Bulls. The shot clock with 16 seconds, a minute 50 to go in this first quarter. It has been a heated quarter. Technicals called on Lambeer, Paxson, Chuck Daly, and Brendan Surr. Paxson wide open. Yes. And John Paxson has hit on 3 out of 3 with 4 for 4 from the line. He has 10 points. Well, Chicago Bulls coach Phil Jackson has made the point many times that he feels the Detroit Pistons get away with too many physical tactics, a subject that we discussed with Phil.
Well, I think Wesley Unseld said it well a couple years ago. He said, now that there are no fighting rules in effect in the NBA, it takes the bully and makes him even a bigger bully, because you can't protect yourself. In past times, guys could, initiate a fight, and the fight in itself at least created the activity. Now, if you initiate the fight, you're not only thrown out, but you're heavily fined and might be suspended. In those days, you had to stand up for your rights, and you could, without getting in trouble, from the league, from the officiating, from whatever else. But now it just makes the teams that can bowl, it can be more muscular, even be more so, because now they can threaten you into a situation. What are you going to do about it?
B.J. Armstrong handling. He just checked in. Armstrong and Craig Hodges now in the backcourt. Cliff Levingston, Bill Cartwright, and Scottie Pippen up for a beautiful backdoor pass for Pippen, and he is walloped, and that will be a flagrant foul. And it's getting very, very tough out there. Again, an unnecessary hit taken by the Pistons as Scottie Pippen was racked up.
Again, I think that's what Phil is talking about. That's what Michael Jordan's talking about. They just don't want to see that in our basketball game. He already had the guy beat to the basket, and then there was a real hard foul. A great backdoor play that the Bulls love to run, and they really let the guy have it, and then Rodman did push him.
Yeah, I think that's a clear-cut cheap shot. No question, clear cut.
That is a cheap shot, and it should not be allowed. And the officials are doing what they're supposed to do right now. They are calling. The only other thing the official could do is make the same call and then could eject Rodman from this game. That could happen. And if it continues to happen, I think that's what you're going to see. They're going to stop it. They're not going to allow that type of flagrant foul.
Foul was called on Lambier, and you'll see the combination of Pippen goes to the drive. It's Rodman from behind and Lambier from the side. The Chicago Bulls bench started to make a move toward the court, led by Phil Jackson. Pippen taking the 22nd timeout. Down to 5:19 remaining in this first half, and the Bulls lead it by 9.
This was after the confrontation, and you can see Rodman trying to impede the progress of Pippen, and I'm sure the officials are watching it very closely like the NBC cameras are, and if they see Rodman do anything, they're gonna get rid of Rodman because he's already got one T, I think, today.
The Bulls going with a backcourt of Armstrong and Hodges, Cartwright, Livingston, and Pippen up front, while Detroit with a front line of Lambier, Sally, and Rodman. Johnson and Dumars in the backcourt. Isaiah Thomas and James Edwards getting set to return. Cartwright squaring up on Lambier. And Joe Crawford blowing the whistle. The basket will not count. Foul before the shot attempt. Away from the ball on Rodman.
Well, as we can see here, they're just wrestling for position, and Rodman just will not let him move, and he is impeding his progress, and I think they're going to call a foul on Rodman real quick on this play. I think that one was called a little bit tight on Bill Lambier right there. I think the officials are concerned about losing control of the game.
A technical foul has just been called. On Rodman. That is his first technical. Earlier, Lambier was hit, as was Paxson, Chuck Daly, and Brendan Surr, all hit with tees. And Craig Hodges hits the tee. Michael Jordan tripped up. Foul committed by Edwards.
He's just so tough to cover. Look at Edwards falling down. All they can do really is tackle the guy. He is just too quick for him, and it really creates havoc with the Piston defense. He is splitting every trap, every help situation.
Nice fake by Jordan. Goes to the scoop. Aguirre from downtown. Good play by Pippen to get in his face. Here's Dumars with a wild shot, and Jordan rebounds. He has Pippen. The Bulls have pulled away to a 15-point lead.
Jordan is just looking. He'll score if he has to, but he would rather feed the ball off.
And Pippen able to feed it off to Jordan.
Michael, I think that Magic Johnson really got him fired up about it and really did the job. Well, I think the crowd is cheering here for the Bulls right now, and the Pistons as they leave the court.
I don't think they're cheering for the Bulls, but I think the greeting is for the Pistons as they are headed off as time runs down. Pistons wasting no time in getting out of here. Now a timeout was called. They left the bench, although there's 7 and 9/10 seconds remaining. The Pistons just left. That's a three-pointer. With 4 and 9/10 seconds remaining. Isaiah Thomas, get him out of Jack McCloskey. With another emotional hug. That's been the story here in the fourth quarter. The Detroit Pistons heading back to the locker room. Their season has concluded while the Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round. They will go against the winner between the Lakers and the Trailblazers. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Michael, for the last 3 years, it has been Detroit that has gone on. Let me be the first to hand you this. And also, it had to be a bit of sweet revenge winning here.
Well, you know, I think you have to give a credit to Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, my supporting cast. These guys played extremely well. I think for the city of Chicago and for the organization, this is a big step for us. And, you know, we can only go and move up. You know, right now, we're looking forward to the finals and trying to do our best.
Now, you mentioned before the game that you wanted to stamp out Detroit and stop that kind of play. What was that about?
Well, we just wanted to play clean basketball, even though they were going to try to, you know, maybe dirty it up. But we were going to keep our composure and play the game of basketball like we know how to play. And I think we held our heads. We really didn't let them get us out of our game. And we kept our poise and did what we had to do.